and welcome to the Tips and Bricks podcast, where we discuss all things LEGO and share some of the community's best tips about those bricks we all love. My name is Bethany, and my pronouns are she and her. And I'm one of the hosts of our podcast. Today, I'm joined by Evan. Evan, how are you today?
I'm so excited. I'm doing great today. Just had a lovely picnic in the park, and now I am back freshly dewy and in air conditioning.
I love air conditioning. I'm a big fan. I'm not going to lie. I have thoroughly enjoyed it this week. Well, this week, Evan and I are joined by our very special guest, Rob. Rob is a fellow Tips and Bricks contributor who has been on the team with us since 2023. Besides helping keep everything running smoothly behind the scenes, he also makes DEIB posts. Welcome to the podcast, Rob. Since this is your first time on our podcast, we'd love to ask you a question so our listeners can get to know you a little bit better. So, Rob, I'd love for you to introduce yourself and tell us about your experience with the LEGO hobby.
Sure. So thank you for the lovely introduction. My name is Rob. I use he and him pronouns. And in terms of how I approach the hobby, I do collect sets. I do build them, but I see set building as sort of like making sand paintings. I'm all about the experience of building a set. I love putting things together, building, turning pages, getting through the instruction book, but I don't display sets, at least for very long. I might display a set for a month if it's not that great. I might display it for 2 or 3 years. But as soon as I'm doing a mock that requires some of the parts from that set, no matter how nice the set is, it's usually being taken apart. One example, the Ghostbusters Firehouse, for example. Great set, really fun building experience, wonderful display piece. But if you've built the set, you know there are a lot of light bluish gray snot bricks in it. And I needed some of those for a mock. So that set had to go. And it's not on display anymore. It's all in boxes now. If I needed to put it back together, I could, as long as I retrieve those parts. But it kind of helps me to get new space every once in a while.
I need to know then, Rob, what is the set that you've had on display the longest? He's really stumped.
Yeah, I know.
I am. I have to really think about that.
Okay.
I mean,
when did you get the Everyone is Awesome set that's behind you? Because as long as I've known you, that's been tucked behind your shoulder.
So that set has been borrowed from whenever I need tiles. And it's so easy to borrow from it because you can't see if I take tiles from the back. But I've never actually taken it apart. So that is one that stays up. In terms of, so what's the set that I've had together the longest? I think there's a set from 1989. It's called St. Mary's Hospital. It was one of the first sets that I got when I came out of my dark ages. I have fondness for it because it's a set that I really enjoyed growing up. And I've never taken that apart. I don't know if I'll ever take that one apart because it is one of my favorite sets.
That's so interesting to me that when you came out of your dark ages, you didn't get a current set. You went and got a current set from the 80s.
Well, when I came out of my dark ages, I started by building a couple of modulars, and then I went on eBay and I said, what kind of sets are on eBay? Oh, every set from my childhood. Oh, buy, add to cart. So a mix of both, I would say.
I love it.
That.
Well, thank you, Rob, for introducing and telling us a little bit about yourself. I cannot wait to go through this podcast with you, for we have some games and discussion ahead. So, Evan, why don't you take it away?
So we're going to start off our first segment of the podcast, which is our controversial hot takes. And so for today, we're going to talk about LEGO stickers, because when it comes to LEGO, there's perhaps nothing more controversial than LEGO stickers. It's something that seems so innocent, but people have wildly different opinions on this. So we're going to talk about it today. Love them or hate them. Everyone seems to have an opinion. So we've each prepared our own hot take. Rob, can you share yours?
I think the controversy around stickers comes from the way that the argument is framed, which is an entirely wrong way to look at it. I hear often that people see a set with a lot of stickers in it and they say these should have all been printed. There is no way that LEGO is ever going to print that many parts. Take a set like The Office. I know people love to complain about the 70 stickers in The Office set. How many of those 70 stickers that say Dunder Mifflin all over them would have possibly been used in any other set. There is no way that LEGO is going to print all of those parts. So really, it's not stickers versus prints. It's having stickers versus not having a lot of decorated element options. I know, for example, that when I'm on Bricklink and I'm putting together a cart, one of the last things I'll do is I'll just window shop in that store's tile decorated, brick decorated categories, just to see what they have, to see if there's any parts that I might be able to use in a MOC. Now, when you said that we were going to talk about this, I went and I looked on Bricklink and I got some numbers together just to show you why LEGO can't print all these parts, right? So let's take 4 elements that often come printed. You have tiles. There are 21 types of regular tiles, 5,638 tiles with stickers. That doesn't include printed ones. That's just the ones with stickers that are available on Bricklink.
Wait, you said 5,000?
5,638.
Good gracious.
Wow. Bricks. There's 66 different types of bricks, regular bricks. 1,827 bricks with stickers. 70 different types of panels, 1,403 with stickers. And 85 wedges, 1,287 wedges with stickers. That's over 10,000 stickered parts. And in those 4 categories, undecorated parts, 240. So you'd have to build a factory just to create printed parts if you wanted all of those elements to be printed. So I love stickers because it gives you more options.
Yeah, just in case our audience doesn't know, each time there is a new printed part that actually requires a whole other machine on behalf of LEGO and a whole other slot in their storage system, because there's only so many individual unique elements, including printed parts, that LEGO can actually store at one time, and making a new one means getting rid of an older one. And so if we want newer parts, sometimes that means getting rid of ones that we love. And so this is a more interesting reframing of the topic, Rob. I like that you've gave us this perspective.
And I can say too, having all of those options has really helped me as a MOC builder as well. Evan and Bethany were both with me in Chicago. If anyone came to Brick World this year, you might have seen my wildfire MOC.
It was so cool.
I'm glad you liked it. There was a part of that MOC that was like a command post that had the fire chief there, one other person. And on that command post, there were a bunch of things that you would find at a command post like that, like terrain maps, weather maps. Those are all stickered parts that I pulled off of Bricklink just shopping. I would have never been able to have that variety of parts. Maybe I'd have like a treasure map, but I wouldn't have been able to have those specific parts if there were no stickers.
I follow.
Rob, I love that your hot take is just like pure fact. You're like, this is how it is. But I guess your ultimate hot take is that you are happy that they do exist.
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't really care what the temperature of that take is. It just came out of the oven, or if it cooled for a while, it's a delicious take.
Bethany, do you like stickers?
Okay, yes. And Rob, you've actually made me change my hot take from what I was going to talk about. I do love stickers, but I don't love how LEGO does stickers. So I love them once they're on, but I don't like how much it interrupts the building flow. I'm often building on the couch on my lap or on the floor or on a table, and the number of times I lose the stupid sticker sheet, or I go, wait, where did I put that? Where is that? And I feel like it just interrupts the building flow. So this is my hot take. Are you ready? To not interrupt the building experience, LEGO should have you apply all the stickers at once.
What? Do you actually believe that?
I do. I came to this decision after doing The Office, when every other page I was having to apply a sticker, and I got rage inside of me because I was like, I just want to build. Let me just build. Let me just put it on. I don't want to have to do more steps. Just let me assemble.
I feel like if I opened up the Office set and opened up the instructions and the first 5 pages were just putting the stickers on, I would just probably close it, put it away, and never come back to it.
Okay, that's fair.
You've given me an idea for a cottage industry. I don't know if there's a market for this, but can somebody start a business that just applies stickers to sets? and then
Oh.
passes that set onto the person that just wants to build.
I mean, I would totally pay you for it. Like the number of times I put on a sticker and I'm like, I did it. And I'm like, crap, it's uneven. Or how did I get an air bubble on there? Or, I've put it on the wrong part. Not gonna lie, that's happened. So, yeah, no, I think that's a great cottage industry idea.
I think that there are times when it makes sense for a sticker, though when there are parts that it's just really difficult to get it on, especially the ones that bother me the most, honestly, and they're pretty common, are on circular tiles where you need to have it be straight,
Oh,
because
yes.
sometimes it'll have you apply it, it'll tell you in the instructions at least to apply the sticker and then put it on the build, where I think you should first put the part on the build and then put the sticker on, so then you know which way to orient it. Because I remember making
Oh,
a mistake
yes.
once and then never again, because I was like, no, 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 no. Because it gets all askew because you have to get it perfect on that circular
So
surface.
when I do rounded stickers like that, when I do them, I actually will put them on a plate. Like I'll have a 4x8 plate in front of me, and I'll put it on there so it's definitely oriented. So whether it has to turn left, right, up, like it's at least on grid. Because I did that once and was like, it was for a set review. And I was like, oh, I have to take pictures of this. Whoops.
So I do exactly the same thing, Bethany, and it helps tremendously, especially with those round tiles.
That's amazing. So actually, this discussion just led me to my hot take, which is about applying stickers. And I think that applying stickers with a brick separator, which I've seen all over online, and while online people make it seem like it works well, I think that is just way more difficult than just using your fingers. We were given a great tool for applying stickers, and why add another appendage onto that?
Oh, you are so wrong, Evan. So wrong. That is what has saved my sticker placing ability, is no longer using my fingers, but because okay, this has to happen to other people, right? You get the sticker close and then all of a sudden it just goes like magic. It magnets to the thing where it just like gets stuck. Like that happens to everybody, right? Not just me.
No.
Absolutely.
Well, Evan's got special sticker powers, so he can just use his fingers. It's fine. I'm keeping my brick separator, so there.
Evan, you can use your long acrylic nails that people can't see because it's a podcast without a video to apply stickers. We need something to hold under that base until we're ready. Bethany, you're absolutely right. You're not ready to put that final corner down until you have everything lined up. And that's really where the brick separator or even a knife, anything that has that sort of flat edge that you can put down helps until you're ready to nail that whole thing down.
I cannot wait to walk into the kitchen and grab a knife. And my kid's like, Mom, what are you doing? I'll be like, I'm building Lego. Like, do you really use a knife?
Because at least the knife you can lay flat. The brick separator isn't flat.
It totally is. You're just using it wrong. Evan, the next time I see you, I'm going to show you how to use it right.
Well, that brings us to the end of our controversial hot takes. For those of you listening along, what is your take on Lego stickers? Go comment on our Instagram page or join the conversation over on our Patreon Discord. And it is time for a game. Today we're going to play Guess the Part.
Yay.
Pew, 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 pew. For this game, I have a few specific Lego parts in mind. I will provide up to 4 clues for our players, who will do their best to be the first person to guess the part. Play along at home and see if you can guess more quickly than Bethany or Rob. Bethany, your buzz sound is going to be this. And Rob, you will buzz in with this sound.
Hey!
But be careful. You can only make one guess per clue. Are you too excited?
Yes, but Rob just pulled out a piece of notepad paper and a pen, and I feel like I'm about to lose so badly because he's like, I've got notes ready.
I just need to remember the clues. There's no earthly way I'm going to remember the clue when we're moved on to the next clue. So I'm here to write
Okay,
stuff
that's fair.
down. That's all.
Are you two ready for your first part?
Ready.
Yes.
Okay, team, I'm going to have to stop you there. Hey, everybody, it's Editor Daniel here, coming from the future of this recording. We just wanted to let you know that this segment did not go as planned, but we thought it was really funny, so we decided to leave it in. Just to say, Evan will not be allowed to choose the clues on his own anymore.
Okay. Clue number 1. This part comes in different sizes and colors.
Wow.
So generic.
Is it a plate?
Nope.
Wait, it's got to be a specific part with a specific part number. So this is actually like a good clue, just very tricky. Wait, right. This is a specific part, not a genre of parts, right, Evan?
So that is a difficult question to answer. It is
Oh, Evan.
a specific part. Okay, full disclosure. This is kind of clue number 2, let's say. We have done an FBF, a Favorite Brick Friday, on this part. And it includes multiple part numbers, but I think we will all agree that it does classify as a part.
Okay.
So that is clue number 2?
Yeah, sure.
I wanted to make sure because I've already used up my clue 1. Is it the wagon wheel?
No, it is not the wagon wheel. Bethany, you need to put in a clue.
I don't know. So okay. It comes in different sizes. That's the thing that's tripping me up. The same single part. That means it has multiple molds then.
It's the same part, but it just comes in different sizes and colors. So it looks the same. It's just scaled up or down.
Oh. Is it an arch?
Nope.
Okay.
So, do you want clue number 3?
Yes, please.
So, this part is commonly found in MOCs, specifically that are micro builds.
What? Oh, I love micro builds.
But do you love them enough?
Hey now. Whoa.
I did have a guess that I'm now questioning, so.
It's not a 1x2 tile because that only comes in one size. It's not a genre like jumper bricks. I got nothing. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, wait. Okay.
Rob?
So I'm just going to go with my guess from the first 2, even though I haven't seen it in a lot of micro builds. Is it like the 3mm hose?
No, it is not the hose, but I think we're getting closer. I like the way you're thinking is the right way to think, and you're definitely on the edge of guessing this part.
Okay.
Bethany?
No, I went away from the edge. I'm now back in the jungle, beating my way out. I got nothing.
Okay, so clue number 4.
Uh-huh.
It first appeared in 1969 and
What?
had a square profile, but is more commonly known today for its circular profile.
Oh, I don't know. I got nothing. It's not a plant part. I don't know. You're gonna have to tell us. I'm thoroughly stumped. Rob, do you have a guess?
So I'm thinking of like road signs, because road signs used to be square. I mean the roadside in the Bricklink nomenclature, where it's basically a flat surface with a clip on the back, but those all have different part numbers, so I don't think it's that.
So I will give you your final, technically 5th clue, but I added in that 2nd clue. So this will still count as part of the allowed clues. So final clue is these parts are mostly found in Technic sets.
All right. I do a ton with Technic, and I'm right now mentally walking down all of my drawers.
Bethany, you really should know this.
I know. I feel awful. It's commonly found in micro build MOCs, but it's Technic.
It's mostly found in Technic. It's mostly found in Technic.
Oh.
Let's do that. And think of something that is a circular profile, comes in different sizes and colors.
Is it an axle?
Nope.
Okay, I got nothing. Go ahead.
Rob, final guess?
Technic pin. I don't know.
No. Okay, should I just give like one crazy clue that is so obvious?
Yes, please.
Yes, please embarrass us.
Clue 6, this part is stretchy.
Rubber band?
Yes, it's a rubber band.
Oh!
What? How did they make a rubber band square?
The first ever rubber, you know what? Maybe that was misleading, but that's why I was trying to say that the part is more commonly known circular. But when I looked it up, apparently the first ever rubber band was square.
What?
To be fair, I spent like 2 minutes researching this, so I could be wrong, but I think it is true.
Okay. Okay.
According to our Favorite Brick Friday,
Mm-hmm.
which is post number 1836.
So it doesn't come square like square, like you lay it on the table and it's square. It's a square cross section. So
What?
yes.
Oh,
Wait, what do you mean a square cross section?
So I cut it in half, ka-chunk. I look at an end and it's square, looking at an end. So it will lay flat, but it's not a square. You know those animal rubber bands? Like you lay them on the table and you're like, hey, look, I've got an elephant. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not like that where you lay it down and it's square. It's a square cross section. So you cut it in half, you look at an end and it's square, but it lays round.
the band itself has corners, is what she's saying.
Yes.
Our favorite Friday is very misleading then. It says this part had a square profile.
Square
That
profile. Yeah,
is-
that tracks.
yeah.
Okay, I did say square profile, but I did definitely make it sound like that was this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll cut that. But if anyone guessed this at home, that would be very impressive.
If anyone guessed this, I want to know who you are because you are now my hero.
So we're gonna go on to the second part. And I think that this will hopefully be a bit easier.
Mhm.
We'll see though. Clue number 1 is that this part has appeared, according to Bricklink, in 3,623 sets. That is a lot of sets. What is it, Bethany?
Is it a 2x4 brick?
Oh my God, it is!
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
I feel really proud of myself right now.
That was the $100 question on the Jeopardy board.
We needed that. Well, I was really excited for my second clue, which is that this part has appeared in 19 minifigures.
Whoa, what?
According to Bricklink, I haven't really fact checked this.
No, don't qualify. I haven't looked it up, but I think it's true.
No, it says it has.
Okay.
It says in minifigures.
We're gonna reassemble tomorrow to do a proper guess the part segment. This is all.
Okay. I have now realized that I was gonna say according to Bricklink, so I think that still is factual, but
Oh.
these minifigures are like questionably minifigures. It's like the cars.
Yeah.
Oh,
It includes
Yeah,
the
okay.
garbage can ghost from Super Mario, a big Koopa Troopa, Mater, a sea urchin. Okay.
are there any promo minifigures in that category? Because some of the promos, well, they stand on printed bricks sometimes.
Yeah, no, there is not a single human or human adjacent
Yeah.
figure on this list.
What about Emmett? Doesn't Emmett have one with a brick on his back?
That's what I would think, but no.
All right, now I'm curious, Evan, what were your other clues?
Yeah, so I'm glad you got it in one, Bethany. So my other clue was that the modern one that we know today was released in 1978, but the original mold was from 1958. So it would let you know that this was a very, very, very
Yeah.
old Lego brick. Almost as old as Rob.
Oh, that was cruel.
That's not accurate.
Hey, you said I have acrylic nails. I can make you canonically 80.
Fair
Wow.
enough.
No one can see. My final clue was going to be that this is the most iconic Lego brick, which I
Yes,
feel
yes.
is factual.
Good job, Evan.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you. Considering I've had 2 incorrect facts. Okay, so final round. Rob, you have to catch up to Bethany and tie this, or Bethany can just run away with it. How do you feel?
Yeah.
I feel nervous. I'm nervous for your clues. All right, go ahead, Evan.
Okay, clue number 1. This part is part of our techniques to build upside down in post number 1916. We give you 9 ways to build upside down, and this part is included. Bethany actually made this post. So
I know this is terrible. Is it the 1x4 brick with rail opening?
it is not.
Okay.
Hey!
Yes.
Is it a 1x1 brick modified with 4 with a stud on all sides? Travis block.
It is not.
Okay.
But that was a great guess. Both of those were great guesses. So I'll give you clue number 2.
Okay.
This part has been remolded a few times, with its shape changing letters of the alphabet. Bethany?
It is the 2x2 plate with snot brick front thing.
It is not, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
But it's the one where you got a 2x2 plate and you got like a 1x2 on top of it, so it's a 2/3, 2x2 by 1/3. It's got the little studs on the front.
Has that changed letters of the alphabet? The shape of the part?
Yes, well, did they change the letter of the alphabet or did they change the mold? They changed the mold.
The shape of the part has changed letters of the alphabet. Think about what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What do you
Once I reveal, you will say, oh my goodness, of course. Though, Rob, when did you come out of your dark ages?
5 years ago, last month.
Okay, well, congratulations, first of all, on your dark ages come outeth anniversary. And second of all, you might not have built with this part pre-change.
Oh.
Because I believe it changed in 2014. I will double check that. But it changed over 5 years ago for sure.
Is it the well,
you have already guessed this round.
Okay, give us the next clue.
Okay. It actually changed in 2010. Final clue, and this one will make it very obvious, is that this is Rob's least favorite part, winning our Parts Madness draft.
Hey!
Go ahead, Rob. You deserve it.
It's the 1x1 with clip.
Correct. It is the 1x1 with clip, which used to be the 1x1 with open U clip, but the part has since been modified to be the open O clip.
Now, I would like to clarify, because you made a statement about me, and I just want to set the record straight. It is not at all my least favorite part. I was just incredulous that the public would have voted that their favorite part in a sea of really interesting parts, including broken brown bricks, including the Pick-a-Brick Cup. And everybody chose four rounds all the way through. They chose the tile with clip. It's a fine part. I just don't know that it's the champion of all parts.
I think it's a pretty good part. I mean, you could use it to build upside down. You can use it to attach basically anything. Though I do see what you mean, Rob, where in terms of Favorite Brick Friday, best part, usually more inventive part usages are, oh my goodness, they use the frog in the bonsai tree, something that is very detached from its original use. Whereas the O clip, of course, it's going to be used in interesting ways. That's the whole purpose of the part.
Evan.
Yes.
I have bad news bears for you.
What?
That part does not appear in my post whatsoever.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. I'm looking at it right now. Where does it appear in my post? How is it used upside down?
I saw it, I swear. Yes, it is. Oh my God.
Okay, where?
No, it is not.
What is it? What does she use instead?
Wow.
This is such a messy round. Okay, I should have read it all the way through. I was just scanning this super quick. Okay, if you look at the original slide, it looks like, I don't even know what this part is called. It's the 1x1 plate that has the little circular thing come out of it that you can clip to both sides. What do you even call that part?
It's a 1x1 with ring, plate with ring.
No, do you mean that? I thought you meant the light attachment with light attachment. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's also known as that one. Yeah.
Okay.
So that on the original title slide, it looked like a clip to me. And now that I'm looking at it closer, I see it is not a clip.
Oh, Evan.
Wait, so maybe what if I reframe the first question so it makes sense so we could still use this segment?
No, it is too late. That is okay. Ladies and gentlemen, join us on Patreon so you too can hear this wonderful tips and bricks session we like to call Don't Name That Part.
Wait, that would actually be kind of funny. This is guess that part, but one of the clues for each part is wrong.
Oh, my word. Evan.
I personally think we should include this entire segment. I think it is gold.
Oh, boy. Well, thank you, Evan.
It looks like it's a tie. Rob got 1 point. Bethany got 1 point. Thanks for playing Guess That Part with us today, everybody. We want to hear from you, whether you're faster than today's players, or if you've used this part in a unique and clever way. So check out our recurring Favorite Brick Friday posts and be sure to tune into future episodes for more fun rounds of Guess That Part.
This week, I'm hosting our question of the week. Every episode, we will share a burning question that the LEGO community can answer along with us. So today, we're going to turn our attention to our parts collection. Specifically, when it comes to bulk parts for MOC making, how do you keep everything organized? Or do you even attempt that? I'm asking this question because we recently scored a large container of bulk LEGO that included some parts from Vintage Castle and Vintage Aquazone, which was so exciting. And with this influx of new parts, it has us needing to fine-tune our storage. So, my question of the week: do you organize your bulk parts by color or by shape? And how detailed do you get? Rob, would you be willing to share your thoughts?
There's an answer to this that I think most of the community will agree with, and I'm going to just put out there. I do usually sort by mold. If you look at a pile of 1x3 bricks or a box of 1x3 bricks, it's easier to pick out the pink one than it is to pick out the 1x3 bricks in a pile of pink. That makes a ton of sense in 95% of the cases. But there is still that 5% of parts that are so common that I have so much of that I actually do sort by color. So I have boxes full of blue, red, black, white bricks. I just put them together, right? So I have these long lines of 1x2, 1x3, 1x4, 1x6 in those colors in just a shoebox. And I'll pull that out if I'm making a MOC in that particular color. And it's very easy to do that. I won't do that for the really obscure colors, though, because I just don't have enough to fill a box. So I'll just throw all of the parts of all different colors for that mold into one base in my storage.
You've now given me two questions. One, sounds like you use shoe boxes. Do you use plastic containers, actual shoe boxes? And my second question, what do you mean by you'll have a line of? Like, do you stack all your bricks?
I do have a lot of plastic shoe boxes that I use mostly for when I take apart sets. Like we said at the beginning, I'll take apart sets, but then I'll leave all the parts together. I've seldom done this. If I were ever rebuild that set, I have most of the pieces there. Mostly I use them for that, but I also do use them for some bulk. And yes, I literally just stack them into stacks that are as wide as the box themselves.
Wow.
And so they're all neatly arranged stacks inside of that shoebox.
Very interesting. So what happens if you need something in the middle of the line? Do you like interrupt said line and then re-put it back together, or do you end up with a bunch of broken lines?
We're really going to lean into my neurodivergent side here. I actually have them stacked vertically. So like it's 1x2s on top of one another and then 1x3s on top of one another. So there's always the brick that I need on top, basically.
Okay, this is fascinating. I love it. One thing I love seeing how everybody's brains work differently when it comes to organizing. My daughter, she's a TFL, a teen fan of LEGO. She prefers to work by color. So she actually has all of her parts organized by color because for her, it's just easier. But I love hearing how detailed and granular you get with yours, Rob. That is really cool. Evan, how do you organize your bulk building parts for MOC making?
Yeah, I feel like Rob, you are an inspiration for parts sorting. For me, I do not have the parts collection that I think many people listening to this podcast probably do. And so I am still at the stage where all of my extra loose parts are just in plastic Ziploc bags and probably only like 4 or 5 Ziploc bags max. Like I do not have many parts. And so that actually makes me very curious for you two and for our audience. What was your early days of storing your extra parts?
That's a good thought. Like those early days, I build based off of what I can see. And a lot of times I'm building on a very tight timeline. So I need to know where the parts are. So for me, my very early days were still divided up by part. But I've gotten more and more specific. Like before, I had all the snot bricks together, all the wedge plates together. And then I separated snot bricks from snot brackets and then just kept going. So now everything is divided by actual singular part number. For color, I divide the singular parts up by color and I call it fire, sea, sand, and chrome. So fire is all your reds, yellows, oranges. Sea is blues, greens, purples. Sand is all your browns and also all of your sand colors. So sand blue, sand green, tan. And then chrome is short for monochrome. That's your black, white, and grays. So I will have parts and then go subparts into color.
I love that.
I love that classification. Yeah.
Yeah, I read a book by Malcolm Gladwell and it was on sorting. And he actually said that if you divide up by more than 6 categories, that the human brain begins to slow down and have to really process, where does this go? So that is why I kept my colors to a category of 4, just to speed up the sorting of such things.
I've seen before people that will put, for example, teal in with orange because they're so contrasting that it actually makes sense to keep them together because you'll never mix them up.
That is a fair point.
I would find that extremely challenging because then I would have to think of the pairs, like kind of building off what Bethany just said. Okay, if I want orange, I need to go to the place that teal also is. That would be really hard for me to compute.
That's fair.
Every year we build the winter village builds and we add another one, then we take it down, put it in a Ziploc bag, and then come Thanksgiving, we pull it out and we all start building. And we usually sort by color because, you've just got a Ziploc bag of parts. And I will do white and black together. That way you don't end up with a massive black bottomless pit that you can't tell the parts from.
Do you think that the way that someone organizes their parts translates to the greater organization of their life?
Whoa. Maybe? I don't know.
Maybe. Great answer.
I will say this, while I talk about my sorting philosophy, it really is my wife's sorting philosophy. She is the sorter. She enjoys sorting, believe it or not. And so it's largely her philosophy. And she is a lot more organized than I am as a person. So it does make sense. I just have to enter her brain sometimes and figure out what her approach was. Like, for example, we have a drawer in our thing of drawers that just says stuff with no home. And a good percentage of the time when I can't find something, it's in stuff with no home with a bunch of other stuff that has nothing to do with that part.
I have a box of Bazaar, and that's what I call it. This is my box of Bazaar. Well, if you're looking for inspiration on organizing your collection, post 2406 is lesson 2 from our beginner series on collections. We have ideas both for how to organize your builds, but also how to source brick cheaply, which I feel is the quest of every A-full ever, how to afford the hobby and find bulk stuff cheap. So you guys are welcome to check that out. I am an organizing nerd. I would love to hear how you all organize your parts, what containers you use, what kind of system you use. So please hop onto Instagram, leave a note in the comments, or join our Patreon. We have a whole Discord where we just talk Lego all the time, and it's the best. So we'd love to see you guys on there. So check that out.
I am so sorry for now that you just finished this segment to have a question that is a follow-up. But see, Rob, because of your name, Forever Sorting, your Instagram handle, I think of you and Danielle kind of as like the Sisyphus of Lego, where you are just like forever in sorting purgatory, but then somehow in some way kind of enjoy the purposefulness of it. Is that accurate?
Well, Evan, are you aware of the genesis of the name Forever Sorting?
The Genesis. Please enlighten us.
I will enlighten us in our next segment.
Ho, ho, ho. Snap. All right. Well, shall we go to our second and only game that will be airing in this episode?
No, we will definitely be airing the other game.
Okay, here we go. I'm excited to introduce a new game today. This past summer, all 3 of us had a chance to be together at Brickworld Chicago, and we did a parts draft where you split up a set and claim parts one at a time. It was crazy. It was hilarious. So we wanted to share this with you guys. In this segment, we are going to take a theme, in this case, modulars, and one by one, we are going to build a team of our favorite modulars. But if someone takes a modular, it is removed from the eligible pile. This is the list of modulars in chronological order that we will be selecting from. And if you're like me, where you need a visual prompt to help remember things, head to our Instagram where we have these pictures up that you can see. So here are the eligible modulars. Starting in 2007, we have Cafe Corner, Market Street, Green Grocer, Fire Brigade, Grand Emporium, Pet Shop, Town Hall, Palace Cinema, Parisian Restaurant, Detective's Office, Brick Bank, Assembly Square, Downtown Diner, Corner Garage, Bookshop, Police Station, Boutique Hotel, Jazz Club, and Natural History Museum. So, Rob, as our esteemed guest, I'm going to let you go first. What is your first pick?
With the first pick in the set draft, I choose Parisian Restaurant. This was the
Mm.
set that brought me out of my dark ages, and it's still definitely my favorite modular. I'm not sure if it's my favorite set overall. It's so unique relative to the rest of the line. I love the way that the roof opens up with that hinge. I love the detail on the outside of the building. The Shay written out on the patio is such a great detail. And in general, I love that the set, the business within the set has a name. Not all modulars have that. So you had Chez Albert. It wasn't just restaurant on the marquee. So that's what I'm going with.
I think this is an excellent pick, Rob. This was going to be my number one. I love the Parisian restaurant. I think this is kind of interesting to me that I find this to be a popular opinion, even though the building itself is just a restaurant. You'd think that some of these more specific places, like, for example, a bank or a garage or a police station, would be more popular than a restaurant. But there's something about the Parisian restaurant and the architectural style that's captured, mixed with that olive green color. It's such a beautiful build. It's so captivating. And I think it also landed at a really good time
Mm.
to where a lot of AFOLs today have that set and revere it as one that kind of elevated the LEGO Modular brand in
Mm.
terms of new techniques and just overall aesthetic.
Yeah, Evan, I knew that this was going to be one of your favorites, so I had to grab it first between, the things that the audience doesn't know, that you are an art person, and that with the Matisse paintings in the studio on the third floor, and the fact that you spent some time in Paris yourself.
I did live in Paris. This is like it's a great set. It's funny though that it's a Parisian restaurant and it's green when there are restaurants and places in Paris that do have a colored facade, but mostly it's a first floor or ground level
Hmm.
colored facade, and then the rest of the building is more of like a kind of whitish, beigeish color. And so it's interesting that they decided to go like full color facade with this.
So Evan, since Rob took yours, what is your first pick?
Yeah, so my first pick is going to be my second pick, as it turns out. And I'm not sure if this is going to be a popular pick here. For me, I'm going to go with the diner. I think that the diner just hits such an interesting retro vibe that we don't really see with any other Lego set. It's such an interesting shape and it's just beautiful. I think it provides such a fresh take on the modular line and kind of like opens up the door for the modulars to really include any type of aesthetic. And I think that's a very important with something that could potentially just become the same looking homogeneous style of buildings. Because even the Parisian restaurant to an extent is just kind of European building. And so the diner kind of sets that apart and kind of places the entire Lego modular line in a more fantasy, not even fantasy, but a more fictional, I would say, land.
I think what the diner did, if you look at all the modules that were released up until the diner, they were from a period in time. They were from roughly the turn of the century to 1935, 1940 or so, and you can really place those. You look at the diner, it's more of a 50s, 60s, 70s vibe, and it's kind of given permission, I would say, for the theme to really open up since then. So it is so different from everything that came before it, but it kind of fits with some of the stuff that you've seen since.
Well, since it's my turn, I am going to pick the Boutique Hotel. I love the architecture on this. I love that it's set on an angle. I love the colors of it. We were able to get a copy used and we have not yet assembled it because I have to sort the parts, but I just love everything about this one and I cannot wait to have it on our shelf.
I'm excited you chose this because I know that Rob has a take on the Boutique Hotel that
Oh,
I'm excited for him to share.
uh-oh. It's good take or bad take?
My issue with the Boutique Hotel,
It's bad take.
which I freely admit is a super nitpick. It is a flat iron building on a 90-degree corner. That does not exist. The purpose of a flat iron building is for intersections that are angular. You never see, because if it was a 90-degree corner, they would have just built a normal building. So I know that they can't do a 30-degree corner in modular land, and so they had to sort of dream up a pretext, but you never see that little side building, that little art cafe on the side there. That's my only issue with the Boutique Hotel.
I think it's a very fair take, but to bring it back to the downtown diner, I think that what I like about that in the boutique hotel is that you can make buildings in the modular line that won't necessarily exist in real life. And that's kind of fun to me. Like this is Lego at the end of the day. And maybe this is a hot take because I know that for the modular line, for a lot of people, it's about building their Lego city. And a lot of people care about the integrity and like the realism in their Lego city. For me, it is ultimately still Lego. And there's kind of an element of whimsy to it that is fun.
That's why I love it. I didn't look at it as a flat iron building gone wrong. I looked at it as just a fun and funky shape, and it breaks up the solid wall-to-wall line that exists otherwise.
It is great colors, and it has some fantastic techniques on the interior as well.
Since I went the third of us, I get to go first for this next round. I am going to pick the bookshop. So this was my entry into building Lego. I would not have considered myself a Lego builder until this point. My family got the set and were like, Mom, you need to sit down and build. So I did a little bit and I was like, oh, this is fun. I like this. So I just have a lot of fond memories with it. Plus, I love that there are trees out front, the little yellow branches. So that is going to be my pick.
I think that the bookshop is beautiful. I love that it's dividable. I think that's so cool. And I think that they should make more modulars like that. And it's surprising to me, honestly, that they haven't.
The pet shop's the only other one.
Yeah.
Oh, the pet shop is one. Yeah. So, but there's only two still. I mean, there's more two base plate. Wait, no, that's also not true. Are there, how many double base plates sets are there?
Assembly Square, Natural History Museum.
Natural
I think it's just the two.
Oh, okay. I feel like we should be going more the direction of modulars that split versus bigger modulars. Because with the bigger modulars, though they are very cool, and I think there is definitely a place for them, the fact that there's an equal amount of those to ones that split, I like the variety that you're able to break it up. It's more customizable, and that's exciting.
I like that you're able to take the bookshop and put it next to the pet shop, and then take the two apartment buildings and put them next to one another somewhere else. So I agree with that.
So, Evan, it is your turn next. What do you pick for your number 2?
So I don't know why I keep picking sets that I don't even own, but I just think they're really cool. And I'm more so picking sets that I just think in the grand scheme of Lego modulars, I'm just happy that they exist. And so my second pick is the Brick Bank because I love the storyline of the Brick Bank. The fact that the Brick Bank incorporates this narrative of this money laundering scheme through a laundromat is just so clever to me, and it's delightful. It's delightful. I don't think there's really any other modular that quite hits the storyline just as good as the Brick Bank does. There are like other mini storylines that you'll see in other modulars and like through the modular line, but this one is like a full narrative that is really exciting, and I think for both adults and children, you can get enjoyment out of this. You can really actually play with this set as if it was a play set.
That's cool. I have not seen one in person.
I agree with the take that the narrative is great. I think that the police station also has a really great storyline. It's actually kind of similar to the storyline in the Brick Bank.
Is that your next pick, Rob?
No. Actually, Brick Bank was potentially a candidate for my next pick. I'm actually glad that you took it though, because it makes my next two picks easier. What I really like about the Brick Bank is if you just take the bank part, it is a really easy set to expand in terms of the parts that you would need to get. I have in my city, I think 8-story tall Brick Bank, just the bank part, just that white part.
Whoa.
And I've expanded it upwards, and I have like offices and like a boardroom at the top. It's a great set if you're looking to do something like that with it.
It's also just great. I don't want to say generic, but for a city, it is generic architecture in the sense that it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it could fit in almost any city, and because of its more like muted, just white and gray color scheme, it really does work. And it also is kind of deceptively a corner building where it doesn't have the building really fully wrap around the corner like most. It is kind of more realistic in that way and more common what you see in a city, which is just a building that happens to kind of just end on a corner. And I like that about it. I think it's a beautiful set.
Well, Rob, what would have been your, I know that would have been your second pick. What is your second pick?
Well, I had three in mind for this. So like I said, I'm glad that Evan made the decision easier for me. My next pick is going to be the Palace Cinema. I wouldn't even say this is necessarily my second favorite modular, but it's very important to me. And I'm going to tell you why. It goes back to what I said at the end of the last segment. The Palace Cinema has windows on the outside that have movie posters. One of those movie posters is for a film called Forever Sorting. And it's got two characters on it. I think one of their names is Clark Brickster or something like that. And I can't remember the woman's name. There are a couple. It's just clearly like this romantic sort of old-timey movie. That's the origin of my Instagram name, Forever Sorting. I mean, beside that, I'm not picking it just based on those grounds. It's a great building. I don't think there's any roof that they have that's like it. I love how they did the theater inside. It's a 2-story modular, which we just talked about the Brick Bank. The Brick Bank only has 2 stories. They didn't try to make it like shoehorn a 3rd story onto it. I love that. It's still a full building with a 2nd story. I love that it comes with a limo. Very few, there's just 3 or 4 of the modulars that actually come with a vehicle. So that's what I'm going with for pick number 2.
So this was my first modular. And so I hold a very special regard for the Palace Cinema also. And I think similarly to the Downtown Diner that comes later, that it does elevate the entire modular line by just opening the door of possibilities, while also playing into kind of the campiness of these types of cinemas that really do exist in real life, that for some reason just take just out of the box architecture. And that you can find in almost every single city. And so I think it's really cool that they did this.
So it is time for, I lost who's next.
It is my second pick.
Yeah, we're snaking our way back through. So Rob, you get to go again.
All right, well, with my third pick, I'm going with the Town Hall. This is the tallest of the LEGO modular line. I think it's very important that it be the tallest because it allows you to have, if your entire city is just modulars unmodified. I like that the Town Hall is this sort of focal point because of its size, because of the steeple at the top. I love the inside of it. I think it's fitting of the type of building that it's trying to be. You have the sort of press area on the first floor. You have the mayor's office on the second floor. You have that big boardroom on the third floor. And it actually came with a functional elevator on the back as well. It also really took a lot of advantage of the space, the footprint that it had. There are a lot of modulars that might be as wide as the base plate, but they only go back maybe 12, 16 bricks. This went very far back. So it's just a huge set and one of the early favorites from the line.
Very cool. Evan, it is your turn. What is your third pick?
Well, just real quick, I don't know if I like the Town Hall.
Oh, what? Womp womp.
For me, for some reason, this building just looks a little bit hodgepodgey to me. The colors don't vibe with me that much, and also the actual difference of architecture feels unrealistic, not to a point of whimsy, but just to a point of they were kind of unsure what they were doing. And for me, the top doesn't really match the bottom. It has like Greek Roman entryway and then like old colonial top tower, which is kind of strange. Am I crazy for this?
Well, what you don't know, Evan, is the backstory of the building is it started off as a very small town and they only needed that first floor. And then they added additional floors in using other styles. This is completely a improvised joke, by the way.
Oh, I thought you were serious. I was like, this is amazing. You like fully convinced me. This is incredible.
But if you think about it in those terms, it's a fantastic set.
So my next pick, I'm going to pick the Fire Brigade, which, full disclosure, I'm shocked that Rob did not pick before this.
For those of you who don't know, Rob was it volunteer firefighter?
Both. I was a professional for a while and also a volunteer.
So that is why his amazing mock was that forest fire.
You're a part of the volunteer fire department? Okay, let me stop it.
What did you say?
I don't know.
I said, okay, Lemony Snicket, part of the volunteer fire department. Full disclosure, I actually didn't even know that was a real thing until I met you, Rob. I thought that was just a series of unfortunate events thing.
Oh, volunteer fire departments.
Oh my goodness.
Do you guys, I don't think you guys even know what I'm talking about.
No.
So anyways, the fire department, I really love because of the facade. It's so instantly recognizable as a fire department. And I think that's really, really cool. I think there are some of the modulars that you'd have to really read into it a little bit more to know what it is. That's kind of how I feel about the town hall too. It doesn't instantly give you town hall, though I don't know how necessarily they would have done that. But at least with the fire department, you look at this and you're like, that dark red, that brick, that amazing way that they do the detail of the corner building by doing 1x2 tiles and then 1x1 tiles to kind of create that brick effect, I think is fantastic. It has the really cool 1932 brick built lettering in it, and you have an actual fire truck in it, which is really cool. Well, I guess it's kind of a smaller. Rob, would you consider this a fire truck?
Yeah, it's a classic fire engine, and I've actually taken that fire engine and the one from the Winter Village fire station and used them in a fire museum.
The only issue I do have with this set, now that I'm looking at it, is that it has an American flag in it. And I feel like the modulars should not be placed in reality. That's kind of been my argument this whole time. And I now realize that this set negates that because it very much places this in America.
I wonder how that sold in other I'm sure it didn't affect the sales too terribly much, but in other countries that wanted to have a modular that displayed another flag out front.
That would actually be really cool if they give you options to create many different flags, and it's only what 3 rows of like 4 bricks each. They could have easily provided a bunch of different plates, like 1x1 and 1x2 plates, to be able to recreate almost any flag. And that would have been awesome.
Yeah, and I'm sure folks have mocked it as well. No, this is a great set as well. It just I think there's so many. I mean, modulars are my favorite theme, and there's just so many great ones that I didn't get to this one yet. Interesting that there's a lot of things that you liked about the fire brigade. It's very similar to the town hall, at least from the roof up. I mean, you've got the sort of they're the only two sets that have those numbered gears. And each of them have that cupola with the bell on it, which I think is really interesting that they did it 2 different ways. But no, it's a great set.
I agree. That's why for me, if I was to pick between one or the other, because they are very similar, I would just go Fire Brigade. I just think it's a more interesting set. Though that tree build is terrible.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I forgot about that entirely.
I don't know why I picked the Fire Brigade and then decided to just like rag on it, but I stick with my answer.
Well, it is my turn. I get to do my 3rd one and turn around and do my 4th one. This will be our last picks, everybody. I'm going to pick the Natural History Museum.
No! I thought you weren't going to pick this.
Oh, but I am. That's right. That's right. Feel the burn, Evan.
I'm so sad.
It's a good set. Don't be sad. It comes to me. I'm doing this because I am a history teacher and I love the interior. The exterior is great too, but I love like the little dinosaur build. I love the nods to LEGO history. I love how it's just a little bit of a larger build. So that is going to be my 3rd pick. And I'm going to turn around and do my 4th pick. Oh, I think I'm going to do Corner Garage. So I'm picking the Corner Garage simply because it's just so different. It's got the thingy that comes out that cars go underneath. What do we call that?
Overhang?
Yeah,
garage door?
No. I mean, yes, it has a garage door, but it's got the overhangy thingy that they can like pull, and it gives
underpass something. I don't know.
Sure, maybe. I don't know. But it gives like a curve to the street, but an inside curve. Like it brings some uniqueness to the Lego city, and I just like that. I think it's a cool. So that is my 4th pick. Gentlemen, what is your last picks?
So I'm devastated. Full disclosure, the Natural History Museum was actually going to be my 2nd pick after the Parisian restaurant. So after Rob picked his, this was actually going to be my number 1. But I was like, there's no way that these two are going to pick the Natural History Museum. I'm just going to save this for my fourth pick.
Oh,
So
Evan.
clearly my strategy was awful.
Yes.
Don't use my strategy. Just go with your gut. I love the Natural History Museum. I think it's such a good set. I was the one that reviewed this and I gave it an almost perfect score. I don't even remember what I took off points for, but it's near perfect in my opinion. For all the reasons Bethany said. But my final pick, now I'm like thinking I was really certain I was going to get this. So now I'm reading through and seeing what should I do here? I'm going to go with the Grand Emporium
Okay.
because, oh, I just saw Rob get mad.
Well, actually, you've made a decision easier for me also. So I appreciate both of the picks that you made immediately before me.
Oh my.
So I think that the Grand Emporium is an awesome set because you need a mall in a Lego city. I think it's just such a quintessential city item to have a shopping center. And I think this does it really, really well. I love the sign that's at the top. I think that's so iconically city to have a billboard. And I love that this set includes one. I love the nature of like this revolving door is so cool to me and something that's I think at the time new. That is new. Like Lego never did one of those before then, I want to say. I could be wrong.
I think you're right.
Also very easily stackable if you want to make a really tall one.
Yes. In fact, you can very easily just buy additional floors and put them right on it. That's how easy it is to expand the Grand Emporium. My one issue with the Grand Emporium and why I didn't pick it sooner is going back to my comments on my first pick, the Parisian restaurant, being Chez Albert. This is a store that's supposedly just named Shop.
Yeah.
I actually, for the Grand Emporium that I have in my city, have a different sign there. It says Tom's because the store is named after my beloved late cat, Tom.
Aww.
And I've modified the billboard also on top to make it instead of a minifigure head, it's a tuxedo cat there. Not the tuxedo cat, I'm not that giant head. I used one from a friend's set. But I do like it. Another thing that I've done with that set to modify it because it annoyed me, it only has one set of escalators. So you can escalate up, but you can't go down. So I've made it double escalators between the floors.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Well, once again, Evan, you've made my final pick easy because I was between two sets. And so for my last pick, I'm going to go with Assembly Square. And the reason for this is I'm cheating a bit. I get to basically have 3 different modulars in one with Assembly Square. I get to have a baker, a florist, a photographer. Assembly Square has references to every modular that came before it, right down to Cafe Corner with the actual tile, the decorated tile, that's a box from Cafe Corner. I love how the apartment has little mini modulars built with basically 1x1 plates, and it has that little train set up in it. Another one of those, like the Natural History Museum, that's on 1.5 base plates, essentially. So a great set. Actually, one of my favorites overall, but for sentimental reasons, I had to get the Parisian restaurant first.
That's really cool. What I found really interesting about all of our picks is they're all kind of clumped together, which I know was not intentional because like our first picks got picked for things. But for me, all of my modular picks were from 2019 onward. Rob, yours were 2012 to 2017. So 3 in a row: Town Hall, Palace Cinema, Parisian Restaurant, skip to Assembly Square. And then Evan, yours were 2009 Fire Brigade, 2010 Grand Emporium, 2016 Brick Bank, 2018 Downtown Diner. So both of you were like middle Lego Modular era, which I just found that interesting that all of our top picks were kind of clumped together.
I definitely recognize a period in modulars from Fire Brigade through Assembly Square that I think was just a great period. If I look at the list that I was working off of, I think that's 9 sets altogether, and 8 of them are my top 8, 1 through 8. The only one that wasn't in my top was Pet Shop, because it is made with tons of reddish brown bricks in the brittle reddish brown era. But aside from that, that was a great, I would say, murderer's row of sets. That was when Fire Brigade was the first one where the interior was really detailed. You went from nothing in the first 2, a little bit in Greengrocer, and then Fire Brigade finally really brought us into the detailed interiors that we have today.
Yeah, can I just say we completely skipped over Detective's Office, which I own, and I just think that's a fantastic modular, even though it kind of is on the side of like not necessary in the grand scheme of things. It's not like when you think of a city, you're like, oh yeah, a detective's office. But there is something that's really cool about that set, and it serves, I hate to say this because it makes it sound like a bad modular, but for me, this is actually kind of important. It kind of serves as a great filler between other buildings, so you don't have like main character building, main character building, main character building. You have this kind of more, I don't even know what word am I looking for. You kind of have this more specialized, generic set of buildings that kind of allow the flow of the modulars to feel more connected versus imagine if you just had the town hall right next to the Palace Cinema, right next to the Natural History Museum. Like those are just very loud buildings that I feel need a little bit of a break.
That'll be the next modular that comes out this year. It'll be office building. And it'll just be a 1980s very square no, it won't be that, but that's
I wouldn't mind that, honestly. I think that we have had a couple main characters recently with the boutique hotel, the jazz club, the Natural History Museum. I think we could be due for more of a detective's office style middle ground filler.
Well, it'll be really curious. That comes out in a few months, so I'm super curious to see it. Well, thanks again for joining us on this brand new game of set draft. Who do you think ended up with the best team? Personally, I think it was me, but maybe you might disagree. And if so, you are wrong. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, tell us who you think had the best team for our set draft. Well, that's all we have time for today's episode of the Tips and Bricks podcast. Thank you both for being with us today. Rob, if people want to connect with you to stay tuned on your super awesome double detective office, where can they find you?
I'm at Forever Sorting on Instagram. That's an account that both me and my wife post our Lego builds and Lego related posts as well. Follow me there.
Amazing. Thank you, Rob, for joining us. And to our audience, please come back for our next episode. We're going to have another special guest. I know who it is, and I think you're going to love this episode. Until then, continue the conversation with us at Tips and Bricks on Instagram and YouTube, and join us on Patreon. The link will be found in the podcast description.
And please, if you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast app. Leaving a review will help other fellow builders be able to find us. We'll also have some Patreon exclusive segments where we kind of go off the rails, but it's fantastic. That will be tucked into our Patreon, so feel free to check that out. Until next time, I'm Bethany with Evan and Rob signing off. Happy building, everyone.
Happy building.